I'd like to first thank you all for joining us today for this our informational webinar about the CADMR Pilot Project Program. My name is Lucy Ingram, and I am faculty at the University of South Carolina Arnold School of Public Health, and I am also co-lead of the research education component of the CADMR, and I'll be leading our discussion today, but we do have several members of our investigative team joining us as well, and I'd like to go down the roll, and Quentin, help me out if I miss anyone, just to ask people to identify yourself by telling us your home institution as well as your role on the CADMR. So Sue, we'll start with you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here. And I am an MPI with Daniela, and I am in the College of Social Work at the University of South Carolina.
Thank you, Sue. Daniela?
Hi, everybody. Daniela Friedman, faculty in the Arnold School of Public Health at University of South Carolina, one of the principal investigators of this grant. Good to see everybody.
Thank you, Daniela. Audrey?
Hi, I'm Audrey McQuarrie Quarles, a professor at South Carolina State and one of the partnering organizations, universities that the CADMR is working with.
Excellent. Maggie?
Hello, everybody. I am Maggie Miller, and I'm with the University of South Carolina. I am part of the analysis core for the CADMR, and I'm also a mentor.
Thank you, Maggie. Marvella?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Marvella Ford. I'm a member of the CADMR and co-leading the research education core with Dr. Lucy Ingram.
Thank you, Marvella. Swan?
Good afternoon. I hope everybody can see me here. I can't see myself. But I am a professor with a joint appointment here at the University of South Carolina, but in the College of Nursing in the School of Public Health. And I am a part of the analytic core. And so I'm ready to help folks with methodologies and that type of stuff with their pilot projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Swan. And Quentin, tell us who you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Quentin McCollum. I'm staff member in the College of Social Work, and I'm the coordinator from this grant. So you will be getting a lot of emails from me.
Thank you, Quentin. Anyone that I've missed on our team? All right, I'm going to minimize my view and start talking. All right, so by way of presentation, we have organized this webinar per the following. We'll start with a brief mission of the CADMR, our center, talk about eligibility and selection criteria, tell you a little bit about the application procedure, including the budget, as well as offer up some additional information. And I do want to start by saying that if you have not received the PDF document of the call for proposals, please do email Quentin McCollum, and I'll share his email and contact information with you at the end of the presentation. Okay. So in terms of our mission, the mission of our center, the Carolina Center for Alzheimer's Disease and Minority Research, is to increase the diversity of the research workforce that's focused on population health and sociocultural, behavioral, and environmental determinants of Alzheimer's disease and related dementias, or ADRD, health disparities. And we hope to accomplish this through sustained infrastructure that will support underrepresented and racial ethnic minority faculty. And by this, we mean persons from educationally or economically disadvantaged backgrounds, as well as racial and ethnic minorities. Okay. In terms of eligibility criteria, eligible applicants include postdoctoral fellows, junior faculty, or mid-career faculty who are transitioning to ADRD research using population-based methods. Eligible persons must have a terminal degree, so that's a Ph.D. or a PhD, for example. Also, primary investigators must have appointments at one of the following partner institutions. So those include Allen University, Claflin University, Clemson University, MUSC, South Carolina State University, or the University of South Carolina. Also, investigations using primary data collection, secondary data sets, or mixed methods approaches are invited. Projects should focus on the sociocultural, behavioral, and environmental determinants of ADRD health disparities. An important note that if one is using secondary data, at least one of the following data sets is strongly recommended. And these include the South Carolina Alzheimer's Disease Registry, the HRS or the Health and Retirement Study, or the Behavioral Risk Factor and Surveillance System, also known as BRFSS or BRFS. Also, interested applicants must communicate with a member of the CADMR Analysis Corps before submitting an application. So you saw by way of introduction, we do have a few of those members here today, and also I'll share with you their contact information towards the end of the presentation. So in regards to selection criteria, applicants will be reviewed based on the following. So first is the quality of the proposed research. And so reviewers will be asking the question, does the proposal have a strong ADRD health disparity focus? Secondly, we're also going to be looking at relatedness of the proposed research to the CADMR mission. So does the proposed research focus on population health and sociocultural, behavioral, and environmental determinants of ADRD disparities to enhance the health and well-being of racial ethnic minority elders? Also, what's the likelihood that the proposed research will lead to further scholarly activity? So reviewers will be asking questions such as, is the proposal related to ADRD health disparities or possible subsequent National Institute on Aging or NIA funding projects? In terms of our procedure for the application, so this is kind of the nuts and bolts of what we are requesting of applicants. Applicants are required to submit the following. So these are using the NIH PHS 398 forms. And on the following slides, I have a couple of screenshots to make sure that folks are familiar with what those documents look like. So we're requesting the face page with signature of authorized institutional official. And as the note on the bottom of this slide indicates, that official is different for every institution, and also the process by which faculty would identify themselves as interested in applying to this pilot project also varies. So we do encourage folks who are interested early to identify people at their home institutions to find out about details about how to obtain signatures, for example, of authorized institutional officials. In terms of description of the project and performance site and senior key personnel, we're requesting that also on the formal forms. Detailed budget and justification, a biographical sketch, resources, and research plan. So here are some screenshots of that face page and the subsequent documents that we're requesting. So information about the project site and key personnel. These are also budget pages as well, just to give you an idea of what we're looking for. Okay. The actual research plan is a maximum of 3 pages, and it is to include the following. The specific aims, that being the statement of the objectives of the project, and then the research strategy, right? And so this is a description of the rationale for the research, and it includes the following sections, starting with the significance of the project. So to describe the importance of the hypothesis to the field of ADRD health disparities. We're also looking for innovation, how much of the research may be new and unique. And then the approach, right? And so here we want you to describe the overall strategy, methodology, and analyses to be used to accomplish the specific aims of the project. Okay. Also, as part of this 3 pages, we are requiring 1 paragraph to be devoted to discussing how the proposed research will support the applicant's career, help to bridge funds, and also expand the applicant's research into a new area. And then in terms of logistics, we're requiring that the proposal be single-spaced with margins no less than 1/2 inch, using a font size of no less than 11 point. Okay. The last component of the application is a letter of support, and this letter should be from a home institution faculty colleague who is familiar with the applicant's research. And lastly, for those who may be resubmitting a proposal, we ask that you provide a one-page response to reviewer document and the previous reviewer's comments. So now for the budget. Available funds include up to $30,000 in total cost per pilot project grant to be awarded. And what does this include? So we do have categories of allowable versus unallowable cost. In terms of allowable cost, this includes salary and fringe benefits of project research personnel. And so for our purposes, that can include undergraduate and graduate students, postdoctoral fellows, and perhaps technicians such as non-faculty statisticians. Also, salary and fringe can be included for the PI if it is used directly to work on this project. Also, equipment, project supplies, travel that's essential to conduct project activities, student tuition, those are all allowable costs. And our indirect cost rate is at 8%. In terms of unallowable costs, any costs in connection with faculty degree requirements are not allowed. Food costs are not allowed, and also any salary or fringe for co-investigators is not allowed. And then lastly, for additional information, folks who are accept our CADMR awards, or who are awarded the funding for pilot research, they will then be accepted automatically into the program as a CADMR scientist. So what's a CADMR scientist? I'm glad you asked. So CADMR scientists really are people who are faculty scholars who are doing this research and really end up being part of our center, not just during that 1 year of pilot funding, but also in subsequent years. So scientists will have access to specialized mentoring and ADRD research. For folks who are awarded the pilot project funds, they are assigned at least 2 senior faculty mentor in ADRD research and health disparities. One of those 2 mentors is a member of our analysis core, and one or an additional mentor also is someone who is a content expert or someone who can provide interdisciplinary area expertise to support the scientist work during the pilot project period. Secondly, also scientists attend monthly research seminars in ADR research methods. They can also be in terms of topical content and professional development. On our website, we have a slew of recordings from previous seminars that we've held, and we're also part of a broader network of folks who have been funded to do ADRD health disparities research, and so we provide access to some of their seminars as well. Also present project updates. So scientists are asked to present project updates periodically during those research seminars as well, so that they can obtain feedback from investigative team members and mentors in a supportive setting. And then lastly, also scientists participate in annual surveys to track professional development for a minimum of 5 years after the end of the project funding period. Okay, so here are those people. So this first slide is the required points of contact. So again, if you are planning to submit a proposal, we do require that you contact a member of our analysis core team. And those persons include Drs. James Harden, Maggie Miller, and Swan Adams. And if you have questions about the research program in general or about the center, you can contact myself or also Dr. Marvella Ford. You see our contact information there. And then for information, as Quentin said, about submitting the application, you can contact Quentin, who is our program coordinator. We also have a graduate student, Maria Frateroli, who is also working with Quentin in the research education component to facilitate activities of the core. And then last but not least, we do also have our points of contact at our partner institutions. So we have Dr. Ario, who represents Allen University. We have Dr. Omar Bagazra at Claflin, Dr. Dye at Clemson University, and as you heard earlier from Dr. McCrary Coral, she's at South Carolina State University. And here we have our current slate of scientists. These are our year 4 scientists. We have Drs. Kai, Lee, and Rahimi, and you see their host institutions there next to their names. And if you do want information about previous awardees and their project ideas and abstracts, you can visit our CADMR website and look for pilot projects. And that is it. So that was a quick one, but we hope that it was informative. And if you have any questions, I'm gonna open up here. We will take them now. Okay, I see one question here. How many submission opportunities per year? So this is an annual application process. So one call for proposals per year. Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Further to that, Lucy, is this, I think I'm reading it correctly that we just funded year 4, so this will be the 5th year, and potentially, is there a renewal planned, or so do we know that? I guess I'm just speaking to the previous question that I don't know that there would be another year in the future, if possible.
Yeah, no, thanks for that context and orientation. So yeah, so this is year 5 of 5 years worth of funding for what we hope is just our first cycle. So yeah, so we will be planning for a renewal. So if you are interested in applying, don't wait. Go ahead and apply for this cycle. Sue, I see you've unmuted. You want to add to that?
No, I didn't mean to unmute,
Oh,
but
sorry.
yeah, please do apply. It's the more people we have applying, the better. We can say, you know, when we put in a renewal application that we have all these other excellent applications. Unfortunately, we could only fund 3 because that's the maximum that they give us funding for. But yeah, please do apply.
Any other questions?
Hi, Lucy. Can I ask a question? This
Absolutely,
is Jason.
Jason. Yeah, thanks, Jason.
So I'm wondering if we can do a resubmission plus a new submission. So from my previous submission, looks like the comments are addressable. Can I submit the revised version for that? But at the same time, we do have other new ideas or projects going on. Can we do both from a single PI, or we can only choose one of?
Yes, we ask that for any PI that you choose one application. Yeah,
Okay.
If you want further insight onto which might be the better opportunity or stronger opportunity, feel free to let us know. But
Okay,
just one.
that sounds good. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Other questions? February 15th is our submission deadline. I forgot to include that.
And I know this, Lucy already mentioned this with working with your sponsored award management office at your institution. I know here at University of South Carolina in the School of Public Health, proposals have to be routed through 4 days in advance of the deadline. So there, you know, everyone may have slightly different guidelines. So just check with your institution to make sure that you have all of that information, because I know it may differ.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other questions? And yes, I saw, looking back in the chat, we will be posting this webinar as a recording on our CADMR website. All right, investigative team, any additional comments?
Just to let everyone know, and thank you for mentioning it as well, Lucy, that you know, we treat the reviews very seriously, and so we actually run the reviews as we would an NIH study section. So you will get a very fair review. You know, you'll have multiple reviewers reviewing the applications, and we take our time to really try to write thoughtful comments that could be of benefit. So even if someone gets funded, the comments may still be incorporated into the proposal before the funding actually starts. just to make it as strong a proposal as possible. And we think this process is working well because one of our investigators was just highlighted nationally by their Research Center for Minority Aging Research Group nationally. So that was really exciting.
Yes, thank you, Marvella. And to your point, comments are sent back to everyone who submits a proposal. So yeah, so everyone does have access to those comments and perhaps an opportunity to revise for, if not this opportunity in the future upon renewal, you know, any other submission that you might have. So it's a great opportunity to get reviewed by experts in the field. Okay. Well, it was so informative. We don't have too many questions. I see. Yeah. All right, very good. And so you have our points of contact. I'd say Quentin McCullum would be the first person to contact if you have any questions. And then if they're not specifically applicable to Quentin, he will forward them to persons on the team who can respond to your questions. All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you everyone for
Thank you all.
joining. Have a good rest of
you
your
all.
day.
Great,
Bye.
thank you. Good,
Yeah.
good
Thank
luck
you.
with your applications.
Yes.
Very informative. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.